Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Thursday, March 18th, at 3:26 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 713 headlines from 108 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Veselnitskaya Trump Tower cover-up linked to secret Russian chemical weapons program. Outrage as 172 Republicans vote to oppose Violence Against Women Act. SF man attacks elderly Asian woman but ends up bloodied, handcuffed to stretcher after she fights back. Europe and Brazil are getting slammed by COVID-19 again. The US is in better shape but not immune. UAE pulls planned summit with US, Israel and Arab states to protest Netanyahu electioneering. Heavily armed Texas man arrested near vice presidential residence, D.C. police say. 12 Republicans voted against giving medals to Capitol police officers, 2 of whom died after the insurrection. U.S. Army nears choosing 1st Battalion for extended-range cannon. Asian community calls out cops' sad excuse for Atlanta massacre. Georgia sheriff spokesman appeared to promote racist shirt. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Unsettling questions surround the motive behind 3 Atlanta area spa shootings as Asians in the U.S. face increased hate, CNN. COVID-19 live updates. Older people especially vulnerable to coronavirus reinfection without vaccine, study says, The Washington Post. 10-year Treasury yield touches 1.74% despite Fed reassurances, CNBC. John Cryer and wife, Lisa Joyner, help or building tiny homes for homeless, TMZ. Domestic extremists almost certainly will commit violence this year, NPR. Perseverance recording reveals what driving on Mars sounds like, Engadget. 2 Masked Singer judges actually guessed correctly on the first try, the AV Club. Asian woman, 70, fights back against attacker in San Francisco, witnesses, Fox News. Leaked Samsung product roadmap reveals Galaxy S21 FE launch date, Android Authority. NCAA tournaments won't summon replacement teams, The New York Times. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. 17 books about consent and bodily autonomy for kids and teens. Scientists say jet fuel made from food waste could slash climate impact. The army of environmental supervoters is growing and marching on City Hall. 45 funny tweets about parents' responses to Where Do Babies Come From? The exercises you should avoid if you're working out at night. Nutritionists reveal the best and worst ingredients to add to your coffee. Tokyo Olympics rocked by another sexist comments scandal. Trevor Noah goes to town on accused massage spa shooter's reason for attacks. Quincy the cat plays ping pong and he can probably whoop your tail, too. Trump supporters turn on them over COVID-19 vaccine in uncomfortable CNN segment. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. District confiscates high school baseball team caps. Police, teen pinned after jumping from stolen car. Flaming van rolls downhill nearly striking man. Police, nurse arrested for stealing vaccine. Actors putting twist on outdoor Shakespeare play. Stranger buys new bike for man with disability. Deputy sees tiger cub, bobcat from home. Fully vaccinated grandma ditches viral hug machine for her birthday. Woman donates kidney to husband. Physicians group, doctors departures good thing. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, the New York Times. COVID's partisan errors. EU drug regulator will give verdict on AstraZeneca vaccine. Hive updates. Atlanta spa shootings unnerve Asian Americans. Quo Vadis, Aida, Jasmila's Vanik on dramatizing genocide. Women of Asian descent were 6 of the 8 victims in Atlanta shootings. Suspect in Atlanta spa attacks is charged with 8 counts of murder. 8 people killed in Atlanta area shootings at massage parlors. Will Cuomo's scandals pave the way for New York's first female mayor? A woman leading New York City? This could be the year. Sabine Schmitz, racing driver and TV personality, dies at 51. The following headlines are from the 6th most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Senator Rand Paul, COVID relief is not about funding Planned Parenthood, that's why I fought Dems' radical agenda. Russia wants U.S. to apologize over Biden's comment about Putin, report. Cuomo's got to go, says playing banner over New York Steakhouse. Staley helps sister battle leukemia, seeks more black donors. West Virginia, others overcome obstacles to get to NCAAs. Will Winthrop, Colgate need change of pace for postseason? Georgia police tracked shooting suspect's phone after parents alerted authorities. Tokyo Olympics, yet another scandal over sexist comments. Doncic, Mavs answer, split set with Clippers in 105-89 win. Richmond rallies to win opening game of NIT 76-66. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Thursday, March 18th. The next headlines are from the 7th most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Witnesses, elderly Asian woman beats up man attacking her in San Francisco. IRS tax filing deadline being pushed back to May 17th. Video, customer angry over wing order throws cash register through restaurant window. Third stimulus check, when will your $1,400 economic impact payment arrive? NCAA Tournament 2021, 5 potential breakout stars. South Florida doctors say healthcare worker mom passed COVID antibodies to baby during pregnancy. How the NCAA tournament will be different, and the same. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Gibraltar dismisses Pretty Paddle's radical new plans to process channel migrants. Sarah Everard's body is released to her family ahead of her funeral. 2 hospitality bosses launch high court legal challenge to bring forward reopening of pubs. Moment Priti Patel is asked how she would respond to sexist comments made by Boris Johnson. EU awaits verdict from regulators on AstraZeneca vaccine. Caroline Flack, her life and death documentary leaves viewers in tears too. What type of foot do you have? Kate Middleton paid tribute to Ireland in 260 shamrock necklace for St. Patrick's Day appearance. Coronavirus UK, vaccine hold-up caused by AstraZeneca delivery delay from Indian factory. Grants for electric cars will be slashed by 500. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. Europe's ultra-cautious vaccine strategy is itself a risky bet. COVID-19 Hive updates, older people especially vulnerable to coronavirus reinfection without vaccine, study says. China slams U.S. plan to expel phone carriers in tech clash. A Bahraini prince planning to climb Mount Everest showed up in Nepal with thousands of coronavirus vaccine doses. Blinken urges China to convince North Korea to denuclearize. Death of Tanzania's Magufuli draws sorrow but ire from some. China accuses outspoken scholar on Xinjiang of fabrication. Troubled as China ties face new test in Alaska meeting. Myanmar is descending into chaos. A Yongo neighborhood is in the eye of the storm. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors. The Guardian. This is the Guardian's U.S. news feed. Bond yields rise after Federal Reserve meeting as Bank of England decision looms. Business Live. Big companies, it's time to fix a corporate sin and pay your small clients. Gene Marks. Judith never came home. Deadly fate of disappeared women in Peru. Texas Republicans pushing slate of bills to make voting even harder in state. Nergal, the extreme metal musician fighting Poland's blasphemy laws. March Madness 2021, can anyone stop Gonzaga's march to the title? Activists demand sexual violence against Argentina's indigenous people be classified a hate crime. Oil firms knew decades ago fossil fuels posed grave health risks, files reveal. Health experts warn the U.S. should learn from Europe's COVID mistakes. Taiwan official urges people to stop changing their name to salmon. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Daniel Day Kim, members of Congress to testify on violence against Asian Americans. Mars rover sends back grinding, squealing sounds of driving. Texas man charged in connection with deadly migrant crash. Former worker gets new trial in fake gun McDonald's stick-up. James Levine, who ruled over Met Opera, dead at age 77. Scientists in U.S. and Canada set to battle murder hornets. DHS chief grilled by lawmakers over handling of migrant surge at border. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. John Magufuli, Tanzania's president dies age 61 after COVID rumors. Dutch election, PM Mark Rutte claims victory in fourth term. Atlanta shootings, suspect charged with murder as victims identified. Tokyo Games creative head quits over Olympic insult. Atlanta shootings, it's scary just to be an Asian American woman. U.S. ratchets up pressure on Chinese telecom firms. Donald Trump's wealth takes tumble during presidency. Australia, Sex Consent Act proposal sparks backlash. Stingy men take on Nigeria's dating etiquette. Paris Commune, the revolt dividing France 150 years on. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Spread of variants accelerate across U.S., Nevada widens vaccine eligibility, Latino vaccination rates lag in Texas, live COVID-19 updates. What to know about Atlanta area spa shootings, suspect charged with murder, killings inextricably tied to race, experts say. Derek Chauvin trial hive 9 jurors seated, $27 settlement with George Floyd's family hangs over trial. Severe weather in Deep South, more storms expected. Foster kids starved, beaten and molested, reports show, few caregivers are punished. Indiana investigates care home nurse who unhooked oxygen from COVID-19 patient, report shows. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier tackles race, patriotism. AP Top Stories March 18th. Tornadoes, thunderstorms forecast for South and East Coast Thursday, thousands still without power in Mississippi and Alabama. Today in history for March 18th. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. How trying to recall Newsom could backfire on California Republicans. Vanessa Bryant names sheriff's deputies who allegedly shared Kobe Bryant crash photos. Violence has Asian Americans questioning how far they have really come in their American journey. DA to review cases after video shows ex-lab detective yelling slur at black driver. LA officials get report on Los Angeles Police Department mishandling of protests. Now what? Car crushes man suspected of trying to steal its catalytic converter. Off-duty Los Angeles Police Department lieutenant fires at car after witnessing drive-by shooting in El Sereno, police say. LA city ordinance would require restaurants to provide to-go utensils only if requested. As Newsom recall hits milestone, Democrats scramble for united front to keep governor in office. 2 bodies at Ontario fireworks explosion tentatively identified, 100 homes still evacuated. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Thursday, March 18, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More from other news sources is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. China blasts U.S. evil past of genocide at UN Human Rights Council. In landmark ruling, Japan court says it is unconstitutional to bar same-sex marriage. Sabine Schmitz has passed away, aged 51. Former altar boy alleges abuser wanted sex in St. Peter's at Vatican trial. Biden defends move not to punish Saudi crown prince over Khashoggi killing. Peering into the early universe some 12 billion years ago, scientists have for the first time seen the incandescent filaments of hydrogen gas known as the cosmic web. Models have long predicted its existence, but until now the cosmic web had never been directly observed and captured in images. New Brunswick monitoring more than 40 cases of a known neurological disease. Canadian Senate passes Bill C-7, expanding assisted dying to include mental illness. Australia's top spy master revealed his agency disrupted nest of spies sent by unnamed foreign intelligence service to steal sensitive trade and defense secrets. The spies developed targeted relationships with current and former politicians, a foreign embassy and a state police service. Brazil records over 90,000 new COVID cases in a single day. Calgary, Canada police investigating Confederate flag flying in Union Cemetery. Biden administration crafting plan to reset U.S. ties with Palestinians, sources. Merger of Canada's 2 largest cable companies will only help big telecoms profit more on the backs of Canadians, NDP says. Bottom trawling releases as much carbon as air travel, landmark study finds. German politician resigns after being accused of accepting money from Azerbaijan, Taiwan and Vietnam. The next headlines are from Forbes. India's plan to ban Bitcoin. Could the US be next? How sustainable is your Easter chocolate? Bingo's rank candy companies, from good to rotten. Itsy Talk utilizing Hello 82 series while touring's on hold, preview upcoming album. Texas, Montana lead 21 GOP run states in suing Biden admin over Keystone XL suspension. WWEN X2 results, winners, news and notes on March 17, 2021. EWA Dynamite results, winners, news and notes on March 17, 2021. Past COVID infections don't confer strong enough immunity, study finds, underlining need for vaccines. Very join BTS, Blackpink and Idol in a special sales feed among K-pop acts in the US. Officer who said Atlanta spa shooter was having a bad day promoted racist COVID-19 shirt on Facebook. 12 Republicans vote against giving congressional medal to Capitol Police. Here's why. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Argument technology for debating with humans. To quell misinformation, use carrots, not just sticks. An autonomous debating system. Forced complete model of the human embryo. Seismic ripples reveal size of Mars's core. COVID research updates, concerns emerge over a COVID vaccine's prowess against a variant. Rare birds in Australia have forgotten how to sing their own song. Oceanic fault zones reconstructed. A plastic fabric could keep people cool and help to fight global warming. Partnerships in progress. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,692,870,072 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Why China is struggling to process its Oscar nominations haul. Sky Studios launches unscripted production outfit Transistor Films. New Front 2021, IAB announces lineup of presenting companies. Brothers Keeper Review, Tale of Boarding School Hardship in Turkish Hinterland. The World After Us Review, Charming but Aimless Lessons in Parisian Life, Love and Literary Ambition. Playing with Sharks Review, Engaging biodoc on one woman's devotion to the ocean's most misunderstood inhabitants. Bilibili confirms $3.2 billion stock launch in Hong Kong. The Feast Review, a keen-edged, slow-burn Welsh language horror that takes no prisoners. Off-season review, unnerving survival horror lacks depth, but offers effective scares. Well Go USA buys Media Asia's God of War II for North America. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. HED, growth of homelessness during 2020 was devastating, even before the pandemic. One of Biden's biggest climate change challenges, the oceans. Lessons from the COVID-19 crisis, overcrowding hospitals cost lives. Biden endorses reforming the Senate filibuster, here's what that means. U.S. intelligence agencies warn of heightened domestic extremism threat. Texas man arrested with guns, ammo outside of vice presidential residence. Tanzanian President John Magufuli, a COVID-19 skeptic, has died. House renews Violence Against Women Act, but Senate hurdles remain. White House announces $10 billion for COVID-19 testing in schools. IRS postpones tax filing deadline to May 17. The following headlines are from The Week. Democrats' delusional disenchantment with immigration enforcement. Let informed people be jurors. 5 hilarious cartoons about Biden's COVID stimulus. Global demand for gasoline peaked in 2019, won't hit that level again, International Energy Agency forecasts. World War II vet finds a way to give back during quarantine by weaving hats. Warnock warns voting rights are under assault at a rate not seen since the Jim Crow era. House votes to reauthorize lapsed Violence Against Women Act, revive Equal Rights Amendment. 4 Georgia spa shooting victims identified. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. What does Build Back Better look like for live music? Barrier breaking. The next headlines are from Physics Buzz News. Abnormal shrimp, an apex predator or barely chewing? The next headlines are from Universe Today. Frosty sand dunes on Mars. These are the news headlines for today, Thursday, March 18th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Early science results, and more sounds, from Perseverance Mars rover. Was ancient Earth a water world? Highest energy cosmic rays originate in star clusters, not supernovae. Climate change altering Earth's rivers. The next news is from Politico. The vaccines that could stop COVID-19. European Union ambassadors okay human rights sanctions on China. Biden's first 100 days. Latest bipartisan gang tries to save Senate from itself. There's tremendous fear, farm workers face vaccine eligibility woes. National Republicans start cash dash for California recall. The GOP's political nightmare, running against recovery. Panic buttons and bulletproof vests, fearful lawmakers stock up on protection. How the opioid epidemic is derailing Biden's pick to fight the pandemic. How one European pipeline is derailing Biden's America is Back promise. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. NRL 2021 Round 2 Hive updates, Parramatta Eels vs Melbourne Storm at Bankwest Stadium. AFL 2021 Hive updates, Richmond face Carlton in blockbuster season opener as Cochin misses out. What Nathan Buckley must do to keep his job at Collingwood. Some seasonal sentinels should stay outside the house. Man who allegedly entered school armed with knife, homemade knuckle dusters faces court. MP accuses Liberal members of mocking transgender issues. I'd die for rugby league, Dragons forward absentee in concussion debate. Our loyal Swans, Sydney removes gendered line from club song. Cricket Australia restarted talks with 9-10 amid court stoush. Give him a rest, Shark sees simple solution to playing Swally at 17. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Europe markets, yield on US 10-year surges, pressuring Nasdaq 100 as European stocks edge up. Kelley Blue Book, the 2021 Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo could be the year that does it all. NerdWallet, 5 things insurance agents really want you to know. Next Avenue, the problems of today's nursing homes can be traced back hundreds of years, how they evolved into what they are today. The big move, I'm almost 50 and I want to buy a house that needs some major repairs, is it worth it? Nikola's strategic partner Hanwha to sell half its stake. The Moneyest, my husband told me that my $1,400 stimulus check will be spent on aluminum siding on our home, how can I reclaim what's mine? We can get through this, struggling with your mental health during the pandemic, try these tips and resources. The Moneyest, they lease cars they cannot afford, our best friends share our pandemic pod, but they're reckless spenders, should we speak up? The Moneyest, my mother is recovering from alcoholism, my narcissistic sisters took over her life and drained her bank account, what can I do? Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. How to use standards contribution data to understand SEP portfolios, Lixology. Lyft fights GPS, locator patents in declaratory judgment suit, Law 360. Citing Hamlet, Fed, Circ, backs Nix of patent app claims, Law 360. Changes to march-in rights under Beidou and more, JD Supra. Good news for patentees, bipartisan NSCAI invokes national security in calling for legislation to clarify patent eligibility, IPWatchdog.com. Late but not too late submitting post-filing data during patent prosecution in selected jurisdictions, JD Supra. Celebrate Women's History Month, share this inventor's profound story with your children, Forbes. China files record patents in Europe, ChinaDaily.com CN, China Daily. Indian Institute of Spices research bags patent for biocapsules, The Hindu. Writing a new chapter on innovation, UC San Diego Health. The next headlines are from Quartz. The U.S. wood shortage can be traced to a decades-old beetle infestation in Canada. By one key measure, Alibaba is no longer China's largest e-commerce company. US-China talks, Canadians on trial, AI hearing aids. Tanzania braces for uncertainty after the death of its president. Is India adequately assessing the deaths reported after COVID-19 vaccines? I am less afraid of COVID now, why people in Mumbai are ignoring the fresh wave. 4 indices that show how vulnerable India's democracy is today. Space debris. Quartz is selling the first ever NFT news article. This article is on sale as an NFT. The following headlines are from TechDirt. PC game Devotion is back, now being sold directly by the developer. Content moderation case studies, can Baby Yoda GIFs defeat the DMCA-4s, 2019. After 40 years of being wrong, Texas Rangers finally decide hypnosis isn't a viable investigative technique. PACT Act is back, bipartisan Section 230 reform bill remains mistargeted and destructive. Florida prisons are buying up location data from data brokers. Daily Deal, the complete 2021 beginner to expert guitar lessons bundle. Massive SMS flaw gives an attacker full access to your accounts for $16. Maryland legislators pass bill that would keep most teens from being prosecuted for sexting. Apple sued over diverse images, which is all idea and no specific expression. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Kanye West. Curtis Samuel. Billie Eilish. Patrick Peterson. Disneyland. Chelsea. Sharon Osbourne. Sean Bradley. David Dobrik. Tax deadline 2021. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Taiwanese government cautions people against changing their name to salmon in order to grab free sushi. Russia pledges to invest $600 million in joint gold refinery in Kyrgyzstan. COVID-19 vaccine deliveries slow in April but will speed up in May, says UK minister, despite drug company rebuttal. Fitch upgrades China's growth rate due to strong export recovery and global demand. Never gonna give you up, Kremlin says Russian regions have no right to independence votes, as constitution bans breakup of country. Russia's COVID-19 pandemic recession is already over after 2 successive quarters of growth in GDP and investment, economists say. Suspected assailant of elderly Chinese woman in San Francisco ends up handcuffed to stretcher after she beats him up with stick. I was shocked, alleged abuser wanted to have sex in St. Peter's Basilica bathroom, ex-altar boy claims. It's good to be white when doing crimes, writes Esquire pundit about blacks' pet caught and released during Capitol riot. John Kerry caught flouting Biden's mask mandate on flight, dismisses elite hypocrite accusations as malarkey. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Watch, graphic shows link between UK vaccine rollout and rising COVID antibody levels. Denmark to limit non-Western residents in neighborhoods to 30%. Which countries allow workers to take home the most money after taxes? What's really behind the Oprah interview with Harry and Meghan? It's complicated, Dems snark at DeSantis for taking credit as maskless Florida booms. EU to sanction China for first time in 3 decades over Uyghur genocide. Israel is back with airstrikes as Turkey scrambles to salvage some oil in Syria. Daniel Ellsberg talks about whistleblowing, the pervasiveness of official lies, and the dangers of the Espionage Act. Tinder will soon allow users to run background checks on would-be dates. Iran's defense ministry warns citizens to prepare for nuclear and chemical attacks. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Blinken urges China to convince Korea to give up nuclear arms. Moscow-Washington ties in crisis, Russia recalls U.S. envoy. Is Somalia's political process unraveling? UK plans to get tough on directors of fraudulent or failing firms. Offensive by Yemen's Houthis threatens IDP camps in Marib. New Zealand, surviving a massacre. Once an outperformer, New Zealand faces double-dip recession. UN lifts 2021 economic growth forecast on COVID recovery hopes. Mexico warns OAS not to interfere in Bolivia's internal affairs. Pakistan received second batch of 500,000 vaccines from China. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Pollack, secret Republican vote to restore earmarks is a betrayal of the voters. Senate confirms Joe Biden nominee Katherine Tai as U.S. Trade Representative. Virginia Tech coach Mike Young insults Jehovah's Witnesses before Florida game. Abbott, number of people crossing border will grow tenfold and 100-fold, we cannot get info on health status or to catch smugglers. Incentive game, Salvadoran president says migration surge bad for U.S., worse for Latin American nations. Miami Heat trade Myers Leonard after anti-Semitic video incident. Stefanik, governor who had nursing home policies like Cuomo's need to be investigated. National leaders denounce Democrats' war on women 1-2 punch, Equality Act and Equal Rights Amendment. Grassley, anti-filibuster rule push shows Democrats' inconsistency, intellectual dishonesty. Julian Castro, Biden competently managing immigration system Trump left in tatters. The next headlines are from UPI News. Book return to New York Library was 63 years overdue. North Carolina man's lottery ticket search pays off with $1 million jackpot. Watch, tree trimmer climbs 50 feet to rescue stranded cat. Watch, 8-year-old uses hands and feet to break Rubik's Cube world record. Watch, last paycheck from ex-employer shows up as oil-covered pennies. Watch, Iowa couple recreates wedding photos for 50th anniversary. Watch, large manta ray photobombs surfer at Florida beach. Look, New York business 1,100 square foot shamrock aims for world record. Look, home invading raccoon found sleeping in dishwasher. The next headlines are from odd, strange and bizarre things. 5 strange but true facts about cars. These are all the ways to use baking soda, part 1. $69 million for an online picture? The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Ancient biblical scrolls and rare coins of immeasurable worth for mankind discovered in desert cave. Yo-Yo Ma gives surprise performance at the COVID vaccine site after getting his second jab. Cannabis compound inhibits COVID-19 replication in human lung cells, study says. Admirable bosses lead to more productive employees, says survey. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Thursday, March 18th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Sperm whales in 19th century shared ship attack information. Alberta politician slam vicious Netflix cartoon for kids says Bigfoot family, a cartoon with talking animals, defames the oil and gas industry. High school homecoming queen gets arrested for 3 felonies, sent to jail. A 50-year-old Japanese man has been using Facetune to pose as a young female biker, who became very popular for her good looks. Pastor who heals people by farting on their faces, claims he farts the Holy Spirit. Utah campaign against porn marches on with phone filter plan. No screaming on California theme park rides, guidelines say. She kept a library book for 63 years, it was time to return it. RV driver annihilates new Jeep Wrangler by flat-towing it in gear. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. Wake up Volvo, MG already made the world's first electric station wagon. Microsoft PowerPoint's AI-powered coach will hone your presentation skills everywhere. The 5 best fictional AIs in gaming. Android 12-second developer preview finally adds a one-handed mode. The key to making AI green is quantum computing. Watch AIM Diss the Patriarchy in new music video. NASA spotted a snake-like exoplanet that shed and regrew its own atmosphere. Learn to profitably run ads on Facebook with this comprehensive training for less than $4 per course. This AI-powered tool is how you create the ironclad resume for landing the job of your dreams. What does it cost to charge an F? We show you the math. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Lab-created heart valves can grow with the recipient. Nanotech scientists create world's smallest origami bird. Double-duty catalyst generates hydrogen fuel while cleaning up wastewater. A new view on plate tectonics. Icy ocean world seismometer passes further testing in Greenland. Muddling speed-ups in nutrient-seeking bacteria. Time lost is brain lost. Missing baryons found in 4 outreaches of galactic halos. Arctic was once lush and green, could be again. Rivers across the U.S. are losing flow to aquifers. The next headlines are from Information Week. Ways to break gender gridlock in cybersecurity careers. 6 tips for IT pros aspiring to be a modern-day CIO. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Thursday, March 18th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA to host briefing to preview first Mars helicopter flights. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Utah pushes tax deadline to May 17th. New law cited as Timmy Brent Olson is denied parole. Utah's Asian American and Pacific Islander community leaders speak out on Atlanta shootings. Inland port opponents call on governor to veto infrastructure bank that would fund development. Protection against hidden rental fees now written into Utah law. Man charged with killing 8 people at Georgia massage parlors. After the Utah Jazz coughed the ball up early and often Tuesday, they're focused on improving their precision. 5 Black Utahns talk about artworks in black refractions that hold personal meaning. Tanner Ing resigns from the Utah County Commission. Former Bayou Cougar, Dallas Maverick Sean Bradley paralyzed following bicycling accident. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Microbes unknown to science discovered on the International Space Station. Scientists believe Oumuamua was chunk of extrasolar Pluto-like planet. Nissan finds a second use for old Leaf batteries. FCC fines 2 Texas telemarketers record $225 million for making 1 billion robocalls. Google antitrust suit takes aim at Chrome's privacy sandbox. Morgan Stanley becomes first big U.S. bank to offer its wealthy clients access to Bitcoin funds. Qualcomm now owns Nuvia, AIM's new CPU design resources directly at Apple. AMD unveiled Radeon RX 6700 XT for mid-range 1440p PC gaming. Visa plans to enable Bitcoin payments at 70 million merchants. Scientists grow mouse embryos in a mechanical room. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Evidence photos and videos flood jurors in police beating trial. St. Louis County targeting North County's zip codes to boost COVID vaccinations. SLSG program kicks off 6th season bringing soccer to inner-city kids. Hours-long standoff in St. James, Mo ends with suspected. Contact to get results for families affected by cancelled class trip. Masked Singer 5, the Phoenix was first to leave Group B but their unmasking was the biggest shocker. People with this blood type more likely to contract COVID-19. Parson discusses workforce development and vaccines while visiting career center. Alton man sentenced for murder of Godfrey trustee Twerp Williams. Day after triple shooting, Old North St. Louis business owner says hearing gunshots is not uncommon. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Authorities searching for missing at-risk La Jolla man. Concert on Wheels brings live music to San Diego. Stadium stories, ex-Padre Finley says Qualcomm was one of the better parks. Suspects sought after one shot at Mission Beach Hotel. How to get a $1,400 stimulus check if you are homeless. Vanessa Bryant releases names of deputies who shared photos of Kobe helicopter crash. This is how I express myself, local man completes world's first strongman marathon. Supervisors okay lease for future East County Distribution Center. Feds ask for help finding smugglers at center of crash that killed 13. It cannot continue, local Asian American groups rally against recent violence. The next headlines are from SpookNews.com. U.S. spy agencies warn of growing domestic terrorism threat. Ethnic Studies, the Third World Liberation Front and my grandmother. Always wanted to be secret agent? Here's how you can join Britain's. Jail for teacher who installed spy camera in North Yorkshire school bathroom and had stash of child sex images. Chinese hackers target telecom companies worldwide. Alleged killer of spa workers tracked by GPS. Hidden camera catches guy abandoning pit bull outside a store. The Dodo Pit Thai Nation. What's moving the market Wednesday? Tracy Valder, the unexpected spy, to speak at LPM Spring Fling Mar, 23. Israeli tell-all book reveals previously unknown details about Mossad Amazon's operations. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. U.S. Army declares operationally suitable of next-gen threat warning system after successful test. Ukraine to buy up to 75 BTR-4 armored vehicles. U.S. Air Force shows footage of A-64 helicopter loaded with Spike NLOS missiles. AeroVironment gets $45 M contract modification for deadly swarming drones. U.S. Air Force B-2 Spirit stealth bombers arrives in Portugal. Ricardo defends to improve safety of U.S. Army's iconic HMMWV. U.S. tells Congress of plans to sell Javelin anti-tank missiles to Norway. U.S. State Department approves Stryker infantry carrier purchase by North Macedonia. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. Beijing wants strategic dialogue with the U.S. and Europe, but instead, it's getting confrontation. Uncertainty roils Chinese private tutoring industry over feared regulatory crackdown. Alibaba-backed battery-sharing startup Energy Monster files for U.S. IPO. A fight for women's suffrage in the early days of the Chinese Republic. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Thursday, March 18, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Man killed by Hayward police possibly linked to robberies of Asian women. Oakland Coliseum mass vaccination sites now only offering second doses. Lawmakers urge Newsom to name Asian American as next Attorney General. Residents concerned over proposal to move charter airline operation to Livermore. Family of man shot, killed by Danville police suing officer. Vaccinated seniors gather for first time since start of pandemic. Video, angry customer throws cash register through Wingstop window in Northern California. San Francisco City Hall lights green in honor of St. Patrick's Day. San Francisco leaders promise change after several attacks on Asian community. Steph Curry leaves game with tailbone contusion. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Myanmar construction magnate claims cash payments to Suu Kyi. Morant layup with 1.2 seconds left lifts Grizzlies overheat. Nikola Jokic has triple-double, Nuggets beat Hornets 129-104. Japan raises tariffs on U.S. beef after hitting import limit. Cook County opening vaccinations to people under 65 with medical conditions. Palatine Township District 15 to seek community input on school boundary changes. Better, WLS picks Dan Bongino as replacement for Rush Limbaugh. Despite reopening talk, Frontier Days organizers stand by cancellation. Bill would require Asian American unit in history classes. Fox River Grove Village president resigns. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Everett City Council to vote on controversial no-sit, no-lie ordinance. Leavenworth cancels Oktoberfest celebrations for second year in a row amid COVID-19. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Drought is ongoing in Iraq, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Congo, DRC, Namibia. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Mexico. Drought is ongoing in Malawi, Mozambique. Drought is ongoing in Afghanistan, Iran, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Bolivia, Brazil. Orange earthquake alert, magnitude 6M, depth 10 km, in Algeria March 18, 2021, 004 UTC, 4,300,000 people within 100 kilometers. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.7M, depth 10 km, in West Chile Rise March 17, 2021, 012 UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.6M, depth 10 km, in Maldives March 17, 2021, 004 UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Thursday, March 18th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from Cypher Brief Security News and High-Level Analysis. And one more thing, further thoughts on how the IC can do better. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Really bad day, sheriff spokesperson criticized for minimizing alleged Georgia gunman's deadly rampage. FEMA to reimburse families of COVID-19 victims for funeral expenses. Texas man arrested on weapons charge near VP Kamala Harris home. A day in the life, raising a steer to show at the rodeo. South Texas churches house migrants released from detainment, they are at a loss for words. Beautiful but cooler Thursday in store for Southeast Texas. Woman accused in Galveston face mask incident arrested again in Texas City. Woman was driving behind daughter's car moments before fatal fiery spring crash. Harris County deputy and cadet trainee shoot and kill man with knife in Cypress. You won't believe why this couple's love story went viral on TikTok. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Report on Catholic Church abuse to be released in Germany. Helicopter crash kills 9 Afghan troops in Central Province. EU regulator reviews AstraZeneca shot in blood clot links. 5 years on, stalled EU-Turkey migrant deal remains a model. Dutch Prime Minister powers to fourth straight election win. Japan airline launches simulated flight experience. Port operator DP World sees 2020 profits drop 29% amid virus. Migrant father charged with son's death on journey to Greece. Japan to end virus emergency in Tokyo despite rebound fears. Pick 6, unusual team's hallmark of NCAA tournament. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Struggling gym owners say they're left out of pandemic relief, despite heavy losses from shutdowns. Romeo y Julieta, world premiere bilingual audio play. Asian New Yorkers steel themselves against violence after Atlanta shootings that left 8 dead. Extra, tax day delayed. Potential changes at NJ's Cannabis Commission may pose new stumbling block to legalization. Richest woman in world donates to NYC elections for first time. MTA refuses to disclose legal cost of fighting accessibility lawsuits. Indoor group fitness classes can resume Monday in NYC, Cuomo says. Andrew Yang says he can feel hatred against Asians on streets of NYC. Cuomo pushes cuts to safety net hospitals after they stepped up during pandemic. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. A Global South organization and UTC.mp4 sign Equanon and UTC.mp4 for developing nations' influence in world arena. Every girl can't be a scientist until we make big changes. Living hell, concerns mount over dramatic deterioration in Yemen conflict. Failing to collect data about women is no trivial offense. 5 steps to combat gender-based violence globally. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Columbia University hosting 6 separate graduation ceremonies based on income level, race, ethnicities. Tulsi Gabbard blasts globalist organization for releasing fake news report to foment war with Syria. Matt Taibbi, the Sovietization of the American press. U.S. COVID relief was enough to give every taxpayer $41,870. Digital trails, how the FBI identifies, tracks and rounds up dissidents. Discovery identifies non-DNA mechanism involved in transmitting paternal experience to offspring. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. IRS will delay tax filing due date until May 17th. Is meme correct in saying Atlanta shooting suspect was inspired by Trump's racism? Officials, violent extremists pose elevated threat to U.S. Our first interstellar visitor is a cookie-shaped planet shard. Did a 1997 issue of Archie Comics Betty depict remote school in 2021? Do McDonald's golden arches symbolize a mother's breasts? Did Trump refer to China virus on Fox the night Asian women were killed in Atlanta? Was Atlanta shooting suspect Robert Aaron Long a registered Democrat? 15th century bowl found at yard sale sells for $722,000. Are Lyft and Uber offering free rides on St. Patrick's Day? The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Instagram post misrepresents FDA document about monitoring vaccine safety. Hagler's widow refutes rumors about how he died. Senator Johnson distorts report on violence in defense of his remarks on BLM, Antifa. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Forget memory foam, Parachute's coil mattress is the best I've tried. Forget black vaccine hesitancy, worry about white resistance. Another really bad day for Asians thanks to white supremacy. With Trump on, Republicans can finally come together to attack Democrats. The filibuster cannot be reformed, it must be nuked. These colleges canceled spring break, their students didn't. Women reporters faced Cuomo's creepy behavior, too. How Kid 90 Feet and Punky Brewster helped Soleil Moon Frye release the pain and shame of her past. Enough sympathizing with men like the massage parlor murderer. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Yankees Jordan Montgomery throw 5 no-hit innings in spring outing. 20-year-old woman shot to death in the Bronx. Jacob Barnes starting to gain success in Mets bullpen. Daughter of late ex-Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan accused of nasty anti-China rant. Rangers Mika Zibanejad breaks out of slump with NHL record-tying outburst. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Mars dust storms may cause eerie zodiacal light in Earth's night sky. Blast from the past, rare meteorite recovered in the UK. Listen, octave of light turns exoplanet data into music. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Push to vaccinate Americans against COVID-19 as states ease restrictions and variants spread. High risk of large and dangerous tornadoes across South. Tornadoes and violent thunderstorms threaten millions in South. Tracking the severe weather targeting the South. Drug makers developing booster shots to target COVID-19 variants. Dangerous storms could spawn tornadoes across southern U.S. Dead Sea Scroll discoveries open a new window into early humanity. Health experts urge Americans to get the first vaccine available to them. Atlantic Ocean circulation weakens, sparking climate worries. Dangerous coronavirus variants spread across U.S. as states ease restrictions. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. San Francisco man attacks elderly Asian woman, ends up bloodied and handcuffed to stretcher after she fights back, witnesses. Vanessa Bryant names 4 cops accused of sharing Kobe crash photos. 15th century Chinese bowl that cost $35 at Connecticut yard sale sells for $720,000. Here IT, 911 calls from 2 Atlanta spa shootings released. Georgia cop who said Atlanta spa shooter was having a bad day shared anti-Asian t-shirt on Facebook. Telemarketer fined $225 million by FCC after making 1 billion robocalls. IRS delays 2020 tax filing deadline until mid-May amid crippling backlog. NYC mayoral contenders denounce attacks against Asian Americans following violence in Atlanta. Cuomo lifts COVID yellow zones, curfews for gyms and bowling alleys, but not restaurants and bars. NYC mayoral contender Maya Wiley unveils climate plan. The following headlines are from military.com. U.S. airstrikes target Taliban in Kandahar province. Man arrested on weapons charge near Vice President's residence at U.S. Naval Observatory. Marine earns highest non-combat heroism medal for saving a 10-year-old boy's life. Short-term use of cannabis safe but no more effective than placebo for PTSD, study finds. Is augmented reality the future of dogfight training? This company thinks so. Lawmakers' Academy nominations favor white students, report finds. NTC's new op for combat vehicles will look and perform like modern enemy battle wagons. Repairs underway to save historic warship taking on water. West Coast Marines are first to try out new amphibious combat vehicle to replace legacy AAV. Military warns social media users of scammers pretending to be U.S. commander in Afghanistan. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Column, suburbanites didn't want a child rapist and murderer in their neighborhood, so why should Englewood have to take him in theirs? Salt may be a savior for roads, but it imperils Chicago area water and wildlife. Some communities and agencies are working to change that. Coronavirus in Illinois updates. Pritzker expected to expand COVID-19 vaccine eligibility starting April 12. State reports 102,390 doses administered, 1,655 new cases, 17 more deaths. Pritzker expected to expand COVID-19 vaccine eligibility starting April 12 to all Illinois residents 16 and older, but Chicago will still set its own rules. Palatine man driving on revoked license accused of 6th DUI, police say. Column, Atlanta shooting suspects bad day and the whitewashing of white crime. Salt changes Chicago area water and wildlife. Corrections and clarifications. Chicago cop arrested after shooting man while off duty, now charged with felony in connection with Northwest Side confrontation. On the anniversary of Illinois coronavirus school shutdown, CPS sets goal of first vaccines for all employees by April to help get us back to normal. The following headlines are from phys.org. Perseverance rover captures the sounds of driving on Mars. For Madrid trees, record snowfall leaves deep wounds. From poaching to avocados, Kenya's elephants face new threat. Management researcher studies key predictors for college retention. How to get customers to talk about you. Women in cities less likely to have children. Dolphins adapt to survive invasive coastal constructions. Astronomers map silk of cosmic web. By Alpha, Eta, Greek alphabet ditched for hurricane names. Polystyrene waste is everywhere, and it's not biodegradable. Scientists just found a way to break it down. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Thursday, March 18th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. Views from space show deadly dust storm smothering a vast area of Asia. What would happen if the Earth stopped spinning? Why don't some people seem to get hangovers? Where does the food in your garbage disposal go? Top 5 skincare products for men. 3 best reusable water bottles to buy right now. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. New Jersey district pays $325K in Trump yearbook censorship. Russia warns it may scale up response to Biden's statement. China summons technology firms over voice software security. Barcelona gains momentum in Spain while Atletico slumps. The following headlines are from mercurynews.com. Bridge, March 18, 2021. Word Game, March 18, 2021. Horoscopes March 18, 2021, Queen Latifah, pay it forward. Ask Amy, I tell these women why I won't date them, and they lash out. Google launches $1 billion California property investment plan for 2021. Harriet Cole, they seem to be annoyed by my creative process. Miss Manners, I worry that the bride will be upset by my own wedding plans. Dear Abby, my exemplary child saves her money, and it's becoming a problem. What Logan Couture, Thomas Hartle said about their fights versus Vegas Golden Knights. Police arrest 16-year-old following Palo Alto robbery. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Explainer, Korea's anger to U.S. may actually be an overture. The latest, EU regulator reviews AstraZeneca vaccine. Transportation crews to begin weed treatment along roadsides. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Trump EPA invited companies to revise pollution records of a potent carcinogen. Biden's Justice Department is defending a Trump rule that restricts options for immigration relief. White supremacists, conspiracy theorists are targeting cell towers, police warn. What Biden's talking filibuster could look like. Liberal think tanks outline steps to resuming student loan payments in September. Amazon retaliated against Chicago workers following spring COVID-19 protests, NLRB fines. Hope is a discipline, Mariam Kaba on dismantling the carceral state. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Thursday, March 18, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Harbor porpoises attracted to oil platforms when searching for food. Parental burnout hits individualist Western countries hardest. For the first time, an alpine-wide study shows that snow cover has been declining. 4 lichen species new to science discovered in Kenyan cloud forests. UNIS to develop new electrolyte additives for high-energy density libs. Size matters when it comes to atomic properties. UTC researcher studies key predictors for college retention. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Lakefront forever open, clear, and metered, free parking ending in popular Montrose Harbor area. 5 shot Wednesday in Chicago. 3 children seriously hurt in house fire in Washington Park. City declares March 18th Transit Driver Appreciation Day. Horoscope for Thursday, March 18th, 2021. Teen boy seriously wounded in Altgeld Gardens shooting. Source, there's adding DT Angelo Blackson. Pritzker to extend vaccine eligibility to all adults non-Chicagoans in state on April 12, sources say. Firefighter falls through floor at Englewood fire, no injuries reported. Suspected DUI driver rear-ended ambulance in East Garfield Park with 6-year-old boy in car, police. The feed from the Riverfront Times St. Louis has been removed for putting advertisements in its news RSS feed. St. Louis Little Bevo to reopen as private event space. Schlafly Beer expands oyster offerings after Stout and Oysterfest sells out. Mega vaccination event scheduled for St. Louis. Keep these COVID changes, ditch the rest. Hartman, Missouri GOP attacks trans kids for sport. The next headlines are from Detroit Metro. You can now get pastries 6 days a week at Promenade Artisan Foods in Detroit's Fisher Building. Drag queen Laganja Estranja on performing for this year's Hash Bash. Nurse charged with larceny for allegedly stealing COVID-19 vaccines from TCF Center. Russell Street Deli owners plot pizza and pasta spot in Hamtramck, 2 years after closing. Nurse busted stealing COVID-19 vaccines from TCF Center in Detroit. 21 socially distant things to do outdoors in Michigan this spring. In a week of bad arguments and risible remarks from awful men, including New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, one stands above the rest. Detroit's long-standing Louisiana Creole gumbo expands to the suburbs. Savage Love, phone job. Free Will Astrology, March 17th to 23rd. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Thursday, March 18th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Rent a pod on the lawn at the Gordy and get ready to see theater on the big screen. Houston Symphony is gone with the winds in musical storytellers. Gothic dark wave trio Sword Collector delivers ethereal vibes. 5 bright spots at the end of the rocket's long dark tunnel. Houston actors say miss you and thank you to Houston. Upcoming Houston food events, March Madness deals and a Holly celebration. Looking forward to the end of the night. Deshaun Watson sued for sexual assault by multiple women. Arthur of the 13 Days, Texas only utility commissioner ousted after call with investors leaks. River Oaks Theater might be saved. The next headlines are about world records making news. The Perot Museum's newest exhibition allows visitors to attempt to break Guinness World Records, Dallas Observer. Honey harvested from a cave dubbed the world's most expensive. Guess how much? Hindustan Times. BTS sets another Guinness World Record with Dynamite, GMA News Online. UAE athlete breaks world record, Abu Dhabi World. Drake's turnaround to today's NCAA tournament game is truly remarkable, khack.com. Norfolk State Spartan snubbed on Indy's world record-setting bracket, WTKR.com, WTKR.com. Blackpink's Rose makes solo TV debut, BTS set a world record and more stories. Billboard News, Billboard. BTS set another massive Guinness World Record with Dynamite, Billboard. Dhaka kicks off Jubilee celebrations with world record, Arab News. Sanjay Moore's area from Little Darling on Guinness World Record attempt, Bees Asia. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. These tiny chips give your DIY projects worldwide cellular connectivity. AT&T is not happy about California's net neutrality law. New iPad Pros are potentially launching in April. An alkaline water brand is making people seriously ill in Nevada, officials say. Tick bites, bad breath, and broken bones, people are blaming the COVID-19 vaccine for anything. This surveillance company claims it can track nearly any car in real time. RIP piracy on YouTube. Mouse embryos grow successfully in beakers, a step toward an artificial womb. The 10 best deals of March 17, 2021. Why Medicare for all must be part of the Green New Deal. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was KF&IA at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Vostok in Antarctica at minus 93.28 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 69.6 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. 4,300 publicly reachable servers are posing a new DDoS hazard to the Internet. FreeBSD kernel node WireGuard moves forward out of tree. Amid panic over AstraZeneca vaccine, WHO urges countries to keep using it. Intel hires Justin Long to mock Macs and throwback to 2000s iMac ads. A severe weather outbreak is underway across the southern United States. Intel Rocket Lake-S desktop gaming CPUs are here. Samsung Galaxy A52 is the follow-up to Samsung's best-selling phone. AT&T whines about California net neutrality law as internet service provider's case appears doomed. A Maya ambassador's grave reveals his surprisingly difficult life. Study finds 3 feet distancing in schools is enough, but debate is far from over. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Jimmy Kimmel details timeline of Mike Lindell's empty promises of evidence of election fraud. If investigators cannot prove Atlanta shooting was anti-Asian hate crime, it was still an attack on women, ex-FBI agent. Officer gets emotional talking about racist attacks from Capitol terrorists who were there to cause harm. Seth Meyers hilariously mocks Fox News for desperately trying to turn everything Biden says into a scandal. Busted, GOP candidate boasted he raised 56 times more for his COVID relief charity than he reported to the IRS. I've never been this afraid to be Asian in America. Atlanta shooting sends shockwaves through scared community. No evidence. USPS debunks whistleblower ballot tampering claims driving Trump election conspiracy theory. Iowa Republicans infuriate their voters with voting restrictions that make their lives harder, survey. Punchline without a joke, CNN analyst takes down Republicans opposing honors for Capitol Police. Go ahead, blow yourself up, James Carville calls Mitch McConnell's bluff after filibuster tantrum. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Arizona is rolling back voting rights, and Kyrsten Sinema is refusing to stop it. They aren't used to losing. Rich Antonites clash over an offshore wind farm. White farmers got 97% of last year's ag bailout. Now some are mad black farmers are getting debt relief. Heavily armed men arrested outside residence of VP Kamala Harris. They're really going to tell us the Atlanta shootings aren't about racism, huh? Watch Rep. Marie Newman explain why the Equality Act matters to trans kids. Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock eviscerates Republican voter suppression tactics. Joe Biden's economic recovery has a narrative, now it needs a legacy. What we know about the Atlanta area massage parlor shootings. The most radical Republicans aren't in Congress, they're in the state houses. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. No cigar, interstellar object is cookie-shaped planet shard, the Associated Press. The Zoologist's Guide to the Galaxy Review, Critters of the Cosmos, The Wall Street Journal. When the aliens arrive, what will they look like? A zoologist has answers, The New York Times. Actor Drew plotted for role as first black Bond villain, The Straits Times. Yaphet Kotto, James Bond villain and Alien star, dies at 81, The New York Times. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Compass pathways, RNPV probabilities of success are underestimated, seeking alpha. IL-4-driven microglia modulates stress resilience through BDNF-dependent neurogenesis, science advances. Bio-inspired mechanophotonic artificial synapse based on graphene MOS2 heterostructure, science advances. Primate cell fusion disentangles gene regulatory divergence in neurodevelopment, nature.com. Algernon Pharmaceuticals submits US FDA pre-industrial meeting request for psychedelic drug DMT clinical research program for stroke, biospace. Study investigates how neurons construct synapses of different strengths, newsmedical.net. The next items are the top results for news about longevity and immortality. This startup was after immortality, then COVID killed it, Utah business, Utah business. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Thursday, March 18, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. UFO appears through a portal, hovers over house, claims East Lancashire resident. Military cover-up of the Dexter UFO incident led to greater government transparency. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Thursday, March 18, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. True Strange News is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno@XENOMAILS 2021 by True Strange News. All rights reserved.